Frank Lampard absolutely well and truly in the mud. Knee deep, hip deep, chest deep. He's double chin deep in the mud. Title contenders to 8th in the league. Smash the like button right now, ladies and gentlemen. Get that done for us, because tonight we have witnessed Chelsea get absolutely destroyed, humiliated, embarrassed, outplayed, outthought, outmaneuvered. And Man City haven't even really been scoring many goals this year. And they took Chelsea to school. They took them apart. They reduced them to absolutely nothing. And do you know what? To add insult to injury to Frank Lampard at the end, Hudson-Odoi, who should have started the game, scores a goal. He got it wrong again. Timo Werner missing again. Kai Havertz not good enough to play for this team. Every Chelsea player that started was their strongest player for those positions, barring Reece James. There are zero excuses this evening for Chelsea. They are on a bad run of form. Right now, Frank Lampard is running out of ideas. They are in trouble. But remember, this was the team that told us. This was the team that told us they were going to win the league. Make sure you're smashing that like button, sharing this stream on all your social media platforms right now. Sign up to our Discord server as well. We're going to get the panel on. Super chats are going to dominate tonight because they're already starting to come through in absolute droves. I can't even keep up with the speed of comments coming through right now. So we'll try and get up as many as we can. Chelsea are the new Arsenal as Banter FC. Listen, Chelsea fans know where they are right now. Chelsea fans are feeling the pain because this is just... It is awful right now. There's no doubt about it. Felix Strip Bear with a super chat. Big Chelsea fan, moderator of the channel. Chelsea, can you really... Sorry, Terry, you can really smack a woman when she is down. Well done. Metaphorically smack. Never actually physically. Well, yeah, we're not going to go into that. I was about to... It was going to get rude, but I don't know you, Strip Bear. Can't do that. Felix says, Lampard... completely outclassed. Midfield was shocking. Centre backs were poor. Second half was keep ball. We could have lost 6-0. Anyone blaming Werner is deluded. Felix, Werner isn't to blame outright, overtly, the reason. He isn't the epitome of what's wrong. He isn't the sort of catalyst, but he's part of it. He is absolutely flopped this season, and today he was played as a centre forward. Chelsea are missing William. He's got super chat here, says no doubt. We're going to get the Chelsea fans on to speak soon. Liverpool fan here says play Werner down the middle, and he stinks. And today he absolutely did. And remember, we're going to take a look at the league table here. 3 points, just 3 points now separate Chelsea and Arsenal in 3 positions. I wonder if Chelsea fans are regretting the banter and the stick they gave out just a few short weeks ago. But tonight was simple, and people can break this down. They can try and be as technically detailed as they want to. But tonight came down to two things. There was no cohesion within the team. Everybody was in the right position, but there's a lack of belief. And this is what happens when you get into a rut. And I said this after Chelsea got beat by Everton. They had to get out of it. And I felt with the West Ham victory, that would give them the impetus and the confidence to move forward. And it hasn't happened. Chelsea are suffering at the hands of a fledgling manager, someone that hasn't been in this situation. A top-class manager, a Klopp, a Pep, they get out of these ruts a lot quicker. When you're an Arteta, when you're an Ollie, when you're a Frank Lampard, it can take more time. But the fans are turning Lampard out, Fat Frank. It's all trending right now. There is no, I don't think there's any. I would say 80% of Chelsea fans are now dead set against Frank Lampard. And even the YouTube hipsters, the positive Chelsea fans that never want to say anything negative, they are upon the precipice. They are on the edge. They're on the edge of glory. They are, right? They're going to go very, very soon. Big up Lady Gaga. I've got a mad crush on her. I don't even know why. I just do. Anyway, not that she knows who I am or cares, but if you do, sup. What I'm saying is Chelsea fans are on the edge of going all in for Chelsea for Lampard out. The big signings are letting them down. The youth right now are just not performing and are not good enough. But I want to get the panel on board. We've got David and we've got Ches that we're going to get on first. Kesh is waiting nicely. Smoking with Goldrick's here as well. Let's do some super chats first, though. Debate over. Timo's best position is left bench. Mendy is just another guy. And Arsenal will pass you. Do not hide. Pray for Frank in. Monsieur says Arteta broke Lampard. Klopp broke Lampard. They're getting it tonight. Chelsea fans are absolutely getting the stick. And I've missed some super chats. I'm really sorry to not be able to put them all on the screen. The comment section is moving too quick. You don't blame a striker when he gets no service, though. Our transition was shocking. We wait 2 seconds to make a decision. Our counters die in the midfield. I saw Werner in advanced positions today as well with the ball at his feet, and he just looks lost. He needs taken out of this team and resting. Lacazette over Werner, definitely this season. Dinesh here with the £10 super chat, an amazing contribution, says Chelsea fans laughing at Liverpool's 7-2 loss against Villa. If we lost a few key players, Liverpool are finished. But we're still joint top on goal difference, but the title run is going to be gold. Another super chat here says Chelsea are absolutely finished. They're not winning the league and they're not qualifying for the top four. Terry Monstar said, pray for our rivals, bring him on and make him pray for Chelsea. I can't even keep up with all these super chats right now. Whoever the new manager is, they need time. Hudson-Odoi looked quality, quick, pacey, and can finish. Frank is going in the morning. Have a crush on Lady Gaga is totally fraudulent. Is it? I don't know, you know. She's all right, Lady Gaga, bruv. Like, I seen her dressed, like, wrapped in meat, and she still look hot. Like, covered in beef, bruv. Proper beef. Amazing. Yeah, I do think, that's what I'm going to say as well. I think Frank Lampard is on his way out. But do me a big, big favor. Smash that like button. We're going to start getting the panel on now. Let's do this. We've got David on. We've got Ches on. We're going to start with two Chelsea fans. David, to you first. Absolutely embarrassing. Absolutely humbling. What's next for Frank Lampard?
The door. The door is next for Frank. He's got to go. And the thing is, I said before we even played, I said everything about this game says we should win, which is the exact reason why we won't. I predicted a draw because I will never predict my team to lose. But after 10 minutes of that game, you know, the first 10 minutes when everyone was like, oh, we're actually playing quite well and holding the ball. I was so worried because I was like, we're holding the ball and we aren't creating anything. There's no pattern. There's no play. I was discussing with Ches and Jem earlier. And Jem was like, oh, what if he plays Werner up striker? And I said, watch him still try and cross all day and nothing will happen. And they were like, no, surely not. Surely you'd have the brain to think, because I'm playing with Werner up front, I've got to change the way I play my football. Today, all it was get the ball to the fullback. The fullback looked up and went, oh, we don't actually have someone I can cross to. And there was no creativity. I thought Odoi should have started over Ziyech. I think people know that my strongest team has Ziyech in it. But I didn't think Ziyech was ready because apparently he'd only been training for 3 days and there's no way he could be ready in 3 days. So I thought Odoi should have started. And the funny thing is, the players he don't rate are the ones that got him the goal at the end. He brought them on. We're losing 3-0. Worst performance in the first half. Didn't make a change. 60 didn't make a change. 65 he then makes a change. Brought on Billy Gilmore I don't know why he brought on Billy Gilmore. Honestly, I'm confused. And he's just void of ideas. I saw at half time, he went, let me get the whole bench warming up. We didn't even know who he wanted to bring on. He just went, I just need all the options I can get. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's been given too many tools, and it's just peak. He's got to go. He has to go. I'm sorry.
So you are just clarify, you are Frank Lampard out, done.
Nah, he's got to go now. I thought it couldn't get worse than Arsenal, and today it got worse. City should have beaten us about 6-7-0. But I think Pep and Frank have got a nice little friendship. So Pep went, we're better than them. Let's just hold the ball, pass it around, keep possession. Let's not embarrass them. Because honestly, like
I hear you, Ches. I'm coming to you next, mate. I mean, you've defended Lampard at times, you've defended Chelsea this season, but this is going from bad to worse. You got to remember as well. There has been £350 million spent on players since Lampard has been your manager. What you spent on Pulisic, that's been added to your squad, new and fresh. You re-signed Kovacic. Then what you actually spent for him this summer, £350 million of new talent on that field and on that bench, and you could barely string a pass together. You tell me what you think's coming next for Frank Lampard and this Chelsea team.
Well, I'd like to say two things. The scapegoat and the Werner thing's getting on my nerves now because clearly he's got again a new service. I said to these two earlier, if he's playing the front three, we think he's going to play Ziyech, Hudson-Odoi or Pulisic. He has to play through the middle, change up the tactics. He didn't. I said many times in the group chat, man, I will back him and he could turn it around unless something drastic happens. This is the drastic point. So it's not in the case of him in or out. He just has to walk away now. He just suck your pride in, just walk away because he's not going to take our club any further at this point in time. Unless for some reason he goes out to fans and goes, I've changed it up. He's not going to change it up. For that reason, because I think he won't change it up, he has to walk away. Doesn't mean Lampard in or out. Just poor game management, poor tactics. 7 games now, 1 win or something like that. We can't even create. If you're watching the game, even as rival fans, you can see, because you're unbiased, okay? You can't even have any positives on our play. There's nothing happening. It's getting on my nerves. Every game. It's so jarring.
It's interesting watching as a rival fan because
days
you never watch a rival team unless it's a club like a massive game that impacts your club. You never really watch it with from the same viewpoint as a fan of that football team. But I've been listening to David, I've been listening to you, I've been listening to Anita in the last 3 or 4 shows, and watching Chelsea. And I was watching it tonight, and the football's gone stale. I mean, it has. I was wrong when I'm saying, you'll be all right, you'll play for it. It's like
Harry, I was saying it. When we were performing badly, I was telling you, and you were like, no, don't worry about it. It's what happens with, I said the trend that we were going at was just that it's just going down and down. And the thing that's confusing me is that everyone wants to bring up this gelling thing. He came in last season with we lost our best player, and he brought in all these youth players, and no one was complaining about gelling then. But now people want to bring up gelling. People are just making excuses because he's Frank Lampard. To be honest, if this was anybody else, he would have been gone about 3 games ago. I want
to ask you about a question as well. I've been trying to research as much as I can because I want to be as informed as possible when talking about other people's teams. I've seen a lot of Chelsea fans on social speak of Lampard's outing the players in public, disrespecting players, like not taking Lampard himself, not taking responsibility for the team's failings. Do you think that's maybe one of the reasons why the football's gone stale? Do you think there's a possibility the players have gone, you're going to out us, mate?
Yeah.
Play for you.
I think that's a fact. That's why I said to you, Jerry, just now, he's sucking his pride. I think he's very prideful. I think that Chelsea player is stuck in his head, and he's really he's like overthinking things. He's not allowing his like proper footballing ability to get through. His pride is taking over, and I think the players, they're not stupid. They can see it, and I wouldn't say they're down tools in, but I think they're lost in the process. I don't think they know what's going on. You could tell by the patterns of play. They're looking up. They can't see any runs. Werner's making runs, and no one's providing him. So I don't know why people are blaming people like Werner. Havertz comes on and Hudson-Odoi. Our 3 youngsters come on and change the game. Do you know why?
Because Billy Gilmore changed. Billy Gilmore came on and did exactly what Kante was doing, which was getting the ball, receiving it, and giving it away. Because what you're seeing in our midfield is that someone will receive the ball from the centre backs, and they can't turn because no one's making an option, or there's no interlink. There's nothing.
There's no 1-2s.
What I was watching today was again. I said before the game we should go 4-2-3-1 because this 4-3-3 hasn't worked for the past now it's 7 games now, but it hasn't changed. But I said with this guy in the team, we can't be flexible. I will come out and say this. I'm not blaming Mason Mount for this performance. The whole team was awful today. But
I thought what you were saying today.
He needed to be dropped for this game because he looked tired. And I'm looking at him today. He was so at 60 minutes, he was absolutely finished.
Where are we challenging Frank Lampard massively today? City got for whatever reasons, we know what's happened with the COVID situation, and they had a week's rest before going into this game. I feel like Lampard's preparation in the previous 2 games to pretty much start all of the same players again and rush a player like Ziyech back who isn't fully match fit, especially after Hudson-Odoi had a good game. I would be fuming right now if I was a Chelsea fan. We're going to bring more Chelsea fans in. We have got rivals waiting in the background, but Anita is back with us now. Neats, another poor performance. Where's your head at with Lampard now? Do you think he's going to be... A lot of people are talking about him getting sacked tonight or first thing in the morning. Do you think that's realistic?
Sorry, I'm just plugging in my microphone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I don't think it's realistic. Oh, can you hear me?
That's better. There we go.
I don't think it's realistic that he's going to get sacked. I hope he does, but of course, that's not up to me. That's up to boss man upstairs. I don't see anyone who can come in at the minute and fill in what Lampard has created at the moment.
Thomas Tuchel would do a better job.
Okay, I get Thomas Tuchel, fine, but a lot of our fans don't believe in him. I'm still a bit skeptical. I wouldn't mind him, but I'm still a bit skeptical. I think we need a manager who can build on whatever we have. He can build a team, build a pattern of play that suits everybody. This job is way too big for Frank Lampard. And today it showed me, because the thing is, right, I said it on Jem's channel. I said, I want to see your 4-2-3-1. And I'm with David on this. I didn't want to see Mason Mount start today. This could have been a game where he could have rested. We could have played Havertz as a 10 today. We could have tried that whole thing. Whatever. I said as well, I don't think Werner is right for this game. Whether he can make the runs or not, he's down on confidence. We need to rest him. Let's try it with Giroud. Giroud can give Diaz and Stones a game and get them tired. Still played Werner. Fine, whatever. I thought we should have played Cho. We play Ziyech. Ziyech is not fully fit. But the thing is, right, and this is where Chelsea fans always come for me. Cho has been better than Pulisic this season. Every single time he's played. And Chelsea fans will come at me for saying that. Every single time Christian Pulisic has played and Cho has played, Cho has been the better winger. I wouldn't have minded if Cho started ahead of Pulisic. And the thing is, I don't care. Chelsea fans, I don't care anymore. I really don't care. Come for me. DM me. Tell me I don't know nothing. I don't care. If you're watching ball and you're thinking Pulisic had a good game, you're mad. He hasn't had a good game for God knows how long. It's time to bench him. Guess what? Cho comes on today and we just look a lot better. We look more fluid and our passing is a lot quicker. Why is that? Oh, maybe because Cho's a natural winger. Maybe because Cho knows what he's doing on the wing. I don't know. Ask Cho. Again, the goal that we got through today was Cho's goal. I honestly think Werner would have missed it. I genuinely think he would have missed it. And I'm not blaming it on Werner being a bad player. I don't think he's a bad player, but I just think Werner should have rested. He needs to rest. He needs to rest, and Lampard needs to figure out what is best for this guy. If you have bought Werner and it doesn't suit the style of play you want to play, adjust the style of play you want to play. 4-3-3 has not worked since how long? Change it up. His in-game management is very questionable because, again, we are putting in crosses into the box. Diaz and Stones are 6'2". Werner is 5'11". Diaz and Jones are 6'2". Werner is 5'11". Giroud is 6'4". Did you see it? There was a run, where it looked like Ben Chilwell had lost the ball and Stones was coming out to get it, but Ben Chilwell actually gave up. If you look at that run, Ben Chilwell gave up because we know Ben Chilwell's quick. He would have got to that ball, he would have crossed it in. But then you look into the box, you see Werner on the edge of the box, and you think, what's the point? What's the point? We can't create through the midfield, which is the problem. Havertz came on, and and Jem told me Havertz isn't creative. Havertz is the most creative player we have. I'm telling you that for a fact. Havertz came on and he's creating. If Havertz had started with Cho, I can guarantee this probably would have been a different type of game. But again, like I said at the beginning of the game, even before the match when I said Chelsea's going to lose, Chelsea lost because Man City had the more experienced manager. Man City, in fact, Pep Guardiola played to Frank Lampard's game. It was very easily sussed out and we got punished for it. Frank Lampard didn't know what to do. Bought on Cho, thank God for that. And then to add insult to injury, just bringing, I like Billy Gilmore in it, but bringing him on, what was the point? What was the point? Like, at that point, what was the point?
I hear you on a lot of what you've said. And you know what was interesting to me watching it tonight was like Hudson-Odoi came on the 77th minute and created more chances than any other Chelsea player did in the entirety of that game from open play. He scored his goal as well. But Pulisic will be deemed to have a good match. And do you know why? Because Pulisic did what I call he did this stereotypical ability merchant. He had a stereotypical ability merchant game. He completed 8 dribbles in a game. But because he completed 8 dribbles and there were skills and good runs, modern day football fans think that means you had a good game. But there was nothing at the end of it. He was better off just playing a pass. For the sake of winning a football match, he was awful today. Hudson-Odoi is getting done dirty at the football club. And again,
no, but Terry, do you not remember what I said literally last week? I said if Hudson-Odoi will get dropped as soon as Ziyech is fit, and I also said if Hudson-Odoi dropped Mason Mount level performances, he would be kicked out of the team straight away. He dropped an even better performance, and he's getting dropped.
David, and I completely hear you on that. And this is why I've started the channel in the way I did. I want to speak to rival fans because when you're a Man United fan watching Chelsea, you have preconceived ideas. I want to hear from Chelsea fans. I've now been watching the last few games to focus on Hudson-Odoi with a finer tooth comb than I normally would, and I'm seeing what you're all saying. It's one of those.
And you remember like the last game where everyone was saying like we looked at Hudson-Odoi's stats, and I told you guys the stats are not saying the full picture. When he came on, I'm happy you saw it, Terry. The impact this kid has is incredible. And you do realize Pulisic and Cho. I'm not asking for them to play together. Read my lips. Cho should play ahead of Pulisic. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying they should play together. I don't want them to play together. Pulisic has dropped stinkers for how long? Let him rest. He's clearly not 100% fit. I don't care what you Chelsea fans think no more. I'm not sugarcoating it for you no more. I've been telling you from the start of the season, this man is not it at the moment. Yes, he had a good end of the last season, and I respect him for it, but open your bloody eyes, bruv. Open your eyes. He's a talent, and he's amazing, and I understand that. However, this season, he's not been it. It's okay to bench a player. It's okay. He's not Eden Hazard. He's not that type of level that he can't get benched. Anyone can get it. Absolutely anyone in this team can get it.
The thing is, the common denominator of what we're all saying this whole conversation, is Lampard. He's just all the things we're saying can be rectified by an experienced manager who would see Hudson-Odoi is training better or whatever, performing off the bench and would start him. But obviously, we expected him not to start. Deep it. How are we predicting every single week he won't start? And I never even said he wanted to start the season. I remember back then I said he weren't ready, but he clearly is ready. So I'm proven wrong. But Lampard won't put him in. So Lampard's the problem. All these little nuances like, Werner, Gilmore, Chilwell, left back. It's all the same issue. There's no tactics. There's no pattern to play. Pulisic last season was cold, got injured, fair enough. Well, all of a sudden he's a bad player. No.
Do you know the thing is about Pulisic?
One sec. We'll go back to Pulisic in a minute. Do you know what I think it is more than anything? You had style and tactics last year. Lampard's a fledgling manager and he's making mistakes. We've seen the same thing with Mikel Arteta at Arsenal, where they just take longer to react to these things. And the big question is, are you prepared to give him time to learn. Forget you fans. Do you think Roman is prepared to let Lampard make these mistakes and waste £250 million spent this summer, plus the 100 million spent on Pulisic and Kovacic? Is your owner going to be prepared for a season where you finish 6th, 7th while Lampard's learning? And the reason I asked that question is I know that maybe none of you three did it. Ches might have done a bit of it, to be fair. But I got absolute pelters from a lot of Chelsea fans, people like Forward, for suggesting that if Lampard starts to fail, forget this cultural reboot, they'll sack him. Does anyone see him lasting through this poor form?
Yeah, I say, go on, Nita, go on. I said, remember, Terry, I said, I'll give him time because I want him to change it around unless something drastic happens. The reason why he's in the job in the first place because Roman wants to build something. So to some extent, he could keep his job. Not to this level. Like, this is beyond like repair. This is like very bad form. But obviously, if we were like lose 7 games, we lost like 3 and we won like the rest of them on drew 1, let's just say, then but 1 win. That's like Roman's not expecting that kind of progress because that's a regression.
No, of course,
you know what I mean?
and I understand. I do understand that, but when you pick them, if you're doing a reboot with a 15-year experienced manager, you wouldn't expect what you're going through now. But when you're doing it with a manager that had 1 year's experience, I can't understand why people didn't expect moments like this because Lampard doesn't know what to do.
You can expect this. But how has he got a better team and he's doing worse? This is what I'm confused. He had a better team this year. But
why? I can answer why, David. And everybody told you this. I got suckered in. I thought you'd done it quicker than expected. It was always going to take time for 7 new. Every rival told you buying 7 new players in one summer is a dangerous tactic. There isn't an example in the Premier League where it's worked in the first season. Sometimes taken 2 years because you have such an influx. You have 4 or 5 leaves, 7 new people come in. It's basically a new unit and it takes time. And on top of that, you're challenging a fledgling manager to do that. It's a madness. If some of the greatest managers in Premier League history or in football history have struggled to accumulate, to gel 5 new players in one summer, how's a brand new manager going to do it with 7 when the expectation is to almost win the league? Comment here from KJ says, can we now stop the Pulisic over Rashford debate, please? Thanks. Rashi is better right now. Terry, Pulisic was better than Rashford, no? Listen, a lot of people say that, but there we go. We're going to get more of the panel. Go on, it's gone.
I don't even know anymore, to be honest. Just get everyone else on that.
Hold on. Before I was going to say about Pulisic today. Yeah, I know he completed a lot of dribbles, but I'm looking at what's in front of him and I'm thinking there is a reason why he's got to dribble because he's looking in front and there's literally there's nothing. Nothing.
Like, the amount of times
today, Werner received the ball, and literally all I see is a perfect back line of 4 of Man City, and everyone's like, "Well, go and do something." I'm thinking, where are the runners? There are no runners. There are literally no runners from midfield. And then when you overlap, like the overlaps come so late that the team's already set, and then the fullback's like, "Well, now I've got to cross." That's the system. That's the system we're doing.
And the thing is, when Chilwell's crossing, you can see it in his face. My man doesn't want to do it.
Who is he crossing it to? Tell me.
Ches, my man doesn't want to do it. He looks up and he sighs. He's like, when Ziyech was coming on, my man didn't care. My man didn't want to play no more. Because guess what, why I say that Lampard, his tactics were so questionable today, playing Werner through the middle, I didn't want Werner to play. Like I said earlier, I didn't want him to play. Because when you play Werner, you've got to play with your feet. You have to play with your feet. You cannot use any crossing. You cannot use any long balls. You have to play with your feet. If you're going to go feet to feet with Man City, you must have a world-class starting 11. Because the only team that can go feet to feet with Man City is Liverpool. We couldn't handle Kevin De Bruyne, which was tragic. We couldn't get him behind Diaz and Stones, which was tragic. I could not believe my eyes today.
And you know what as well? And on Man City, because we haven't touched on them, we will when the rivals come on. They were very, very good in the way they moved the ball once. And Gundogan's goal, that touch. I mean, Thiago Silva is one of the best centre-backs in the world. And that sort of Cruyff-esque sort of back-heeled touch. I don't know what the skill's called. Some hipster will know what it's called. At first, I thought he dummied it or he miscontrolled it. And when you watch it, it's like, yeah, man meant that. That was
Mendy, a bit suspect though for that goal. Though, I can't lie.
Mendy suspect.
No, he's suspect.
Mendy in the last few games has started. He's leveled out, bro. The pint. You know when you pour out a pint of Guinness, it takes a little bit of time for it to settle. He's settled now.
He's showing his capability.
Fraud watch, slightly fraud watch, Terry. I can't lie.
Yeah.
Fraud watch,
Whenever,
I can't lie.
whoever is your manager next year, a proper goalkeeper is going to be
Donnarumma.
Before we
let's not avoid the build up of it all because it's basic defending, guys. Let's not avoid the build up.
Obviously.
Guys, before we bring the rest of the panel on, I'm going to do one by one. Anita, right now, are you Lampard in or you Lampard out?
Out. Ouch.
Cheers. Lampard in, Lampard out. You've got to pick one. Do you want him to stay or one? Say it out loud.
Well, I'll say he's Lampard out, innit? But I think he should walk away anyway, innit? Like, it should be a Lampard out.
We know David's been Lampard out for about a year now. We're going to bring the panel on. Before we bring the rest of the panel on, nearly 9,000 people watching. Let's put this past 10,000 live viewers, please. And how we do that is by each and every single one of you smashing the like button right now. If we hit 8,000 likes, we should trend #1 on YouTube, which would be amazing. So please do that now. And if we hit 2,000 likes in the next minute, I'll replay the brand new Chelsea meme with the lovely, beautiful soundtrack from British music icon Shirley Bassey. I Am What I Am. Song I absolutely love. And I didn't realize until recently that she was an out lesbian. And I thought, wow, that's brave because she came out in the 70s.
Don't get done for copyright, Terry.
No, I've edited the song and added certain noises to it so it doesn't pick up. I've already had it done. It's all good. But let's get the like button hit right now, ladies and gentlemen. When we hit 2,000, we'll play it again. But we're going to get more of the panel on. Now, first, we're going to go to him. Look at this. Look at, I feel like a proud dad sometimes when I look at this guy. Look at the smile on the gal's face. Look at it. Man, man looking at ET smiling. Listen, you just seen Chelsea get bodied, destroyed. Could have been more than 3-1 in the end. You're 3 points behind them. Are you confident you can catch Chelsea?
Listen, Terry, let's not even go there right now. Let's not even go there. I'm on here because I came on the same show against when you guys lost to Wolves, and I said, why are you guys smiling? You guys just lost to Wolves. And what did man say to me? Oh, because my team's not in the toilet. Get out of here, bro. Your team's in the toilet. Face the facts. Now you got it. Now you know what it is. Now you know what it is. Imagine a man's calling my team relegation fodder. We're saying we're in a relegation fight, and man's now 3 points ahead of me. Guess what? Soon Arsenal's going to overtake you. Then what? What are you going to say then? Because right now, that's what the trend's going. That's where the trend's going. Now, let's talk about this game. Let's talk about this game. It could have been City 4-5, but luckily you guys only scored 3. They only scored 3 against you guys. I think they've seen the shirt sponsor and they're like, that score looks nice, so they left it at that. Now, in the grand scheme of things, I'm not having all this talk about Timo Werner not playing in his rightful position. I'm not having it anymore. He played on the right. He played up front. He played on the left. Every single week, you guys have excuses for him. Just face the facts. He's another Morata. You guys are going to sell him in another year's time. He won't be able to do it in the Premier League. Right now, he looks like that. At least Morata got a hat trick for you guys in the first opening weeks of his career at Chelsea. What has Timo Werner done? Timmy. Let's just call him Timmy from now on. I'm not even calling him Timo no more. I'm calling him Timmy. Timmy. That's what he is. But yo, let me finish. You guys keep going on about Lampard. Lampard today played Ziyech, Werner, and Pulisic up front. Midfield of Kovacic, Kante, and Mason Mount. Defense of Chilwell, Zuma, Thiago Silva, and Azpilicueta and Mendy. That's as closest to your strongest team as possible against Man City. You lost 3-1. Face the music. Don't give excuses. You guys lost. It's just shit.
We haven't given excuses today, mate. What are you talking? No. We've all come on here and said it has been poor, right? You cannot say after Wolves I was happy, because I've been saying it when we were winning. I wasn't happy. Again, it was our strongest lineup. It was one of our strongest lineups this season. However, I've been saying it for weeks now. I didn't want to see what I saw today. I wanted to see 4-2-3-1. I wanted to see Havertz start, and I didn't want to see Mason in the team because he looks absolutely finished. He's tired. He's played every single game. I'm not giving him excuses. I'm pointing out his faults, and I've been pointing it out for weeks and weeks and weeks. The reason why we said you're relegation fodder is because you were at the time. You've improved, and I gave you your props yesterday, and you're improving, and you might overtake us. You might. But at the same time, my team's still awful. You're probably going to overtake us. And if you do, bring on the banter because we gave it to you. But we as Chelsea fans can see there is a problem. We're not hiding from it. We are here to say we can see the problem.
Yeah,
I get that.
that's
Do you know what I'm going to say as well? Listen to I want to know where Monstar is, sir. We're waiting for you. I will kick it barring Anita. I'll kick anybody else out to make space for you. She's one of my hosts, so they get preferential treatment. You know what I mean? There's a hierarchy thing here. You will get preferential treatment, and you're allowed in. I need to hear from Monstar. I need to know where you're at, bro, because you started all this, and he weren't the only one. My little meme, and we need 200 more likes to play it again. My little meme. It took me 5 minutes just to search Chelsea are going to win the league and put in a particular date range of when the tweets went out. And there was thousands. I was going to sit again. Look at the plethora of options I've got of people's tweets to clip up. Chelsea fans were absolutely incensed they were going to win the league. Now, you were playing great at the time and you look very, very good. You've just got to take the banter now. I still think Chelsea are going to turn this around, by the way. Like, it all being said and done, all the madness that's going on, I still think you're going to go on a good run soon.
Swear down, Terry.
I do because
Terry, Terry.
No, I'll tell you why.
Terry, that's you. That's you supporting your fellow Gabbard.
This isn't the judge thing. I'll tell you why. Because we all look what Arsenal have just done. Arsenal have just gone and won 3 games on the bounce, and they've been worse than you this season. So to say that you guys can't do that, Liverpool this season, the best team in Europe, they've drawn with Fulham, Brighton, Newcastle and West Brom. To say you can't go and win 2 or 3 games on the bounce and other teams above you are going to drop points. I just think it's just, I get when you're feeling hurt and wounded, you don't want to say that. But at the end of the day, you can turn it around from where you are. That's when the conundrum comes in. When it comes to sacking Lampard, there is no guarantee that Tuchel is going to make you any better, is going to make you any more consistent. You might get a bounce, you might not. It might come too early. You know, Man United fans, a lot of them, maybe even me, wanted Ollie gone 6 weeks ago. Right now, 21's incoming, baby.
But Terry, did it get this bad? Did it get this bad?
No, it got all Man United. Listen, there was some bad times. We're going to add another viewer into the stream now. He's here to talk. He's here to chat.
No! It never got this bad.
DT is here.
I knew it.
It had to be DT, innit?
I knew it. I knew he was going to come. I knew he was going to show his face.
I knew it was going to be DT. I knew it.
DT's in the house. You're 3 points behind Chelsea now. Are you catching them?
Chelsea fans, eh? What a cocky bunch they were a few weeks ago. So cocky that they made videos already talking about what they were going to do to us before they played us. The irony that you've got sponsored by Free, and since then, all you do is concede Free. Come on, Chelsea fans. £250 million for a man that failed at Derby County. Let's look at the reality of it. How long will Frank be in a job? I suppose today's result's a bittersweet kind of result for him, really, because he's a Man City legend. Was it 2 weeks ago? Chelsea are challenging for the title. Now you're 3 points ahead of relegation-threatened Arsenal. How the mighty have fallen. It's lovely, isn't it, Terry?
Do you know what? Listen, I'm loving this right now because my team's not in any of these problems. We're joint top of the league and or second, as your tweet pointed out the other day. But yeah, we're in a really good space. It's interesting to see what's happened to Chelsea fans. They've gone from pray for our rivals, we're winning the league, right through to like we want Lampard out, and it's all happened in 3 weeks. It's like a great box set. You know, you get that great twist in a box set. You don't see something coming. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe he's been having sex with his sister. What was that Game of Thrones thing? You're like, oh wow, that's what's happened with Chelsea. It's been a madness, bro. But do you feel a little bit vindicated, DT? Because you called Lampard out in the summer saying that he's not good enough. He'll take Chelsea backwards, and you got a lot of stick for that.
Yeah, and I'm standing by exactly what I said all along. This was the same guy that took Derby County nowhere, lost the opportunity to get into the Premier League. This is the same guy that on multiple occasions now has been tactically outdone by various managers in the Premier League, including Mikel Arteta. Our last two, games against Chelsea, Mikel Arteta has completely done Frank Lampard. FA Cup final and 2 weeks ago. I don't know what Chelsea fans that want to sit and stick up for him see other than the fact that he's a former legend. I understand there's that sentiment side of things because it's Frank. He's, this iconic guy that came into the side, and we're not taking away what he achieved as a player, But as a manager, I'm sorry, it doesn't. You know, as far as I'm concerned, you look at Steven Gerrard at Rangers, for example. There's a guy that's gone off, started somewhere first, and he's actually doing something. He's actually showing progression as a manager. Don't care if it's the Scottish League, he still has to break the dominance of Celtic. And what he's achieved at Rangers this season shows what he's capable of doing as a manager. If you watch the Old Firm game over the weekend, you'll see that Rangers set up to basically get there with a point. They were happy with a point, given the lead that they had and everything else. I thought they were looking at it and going, you know what, we'll take a point from this. But the way he set up and the way that they were able to spring Celtic with that one opportunity, they end up walking away with 3. So I haven't seen anything from Frank Lampard to suggest that he's a good manager. Multiple times this season. I believe, I made that joke about 3. That was the 6th time this season already that Chelsea have conceded 3 goals in a game.
Really? 6? Wow.
6 times. You know, everybody has one result during a season where you go, what the hell happened there? Liverpool this season, Aston Villa. There's results that make you scratch your head and think, what? But they're one-offs. 6 times. We played, 16 games, 17 games?
Do you know what I think is interesting for on that basis? And this is where people get ahead of themselves. And we all do it as fans sometimes. And I know I've done it on socials. I know DT, I know you've done it as well, mate. We all have. And we have to learn from it. Is when Mendy came in, there was a run of clean sheets. And there was almost this thought of, everything's fine now. You get rid of, Prime must be sitting there thinking, I told you all. When he was saying that everyone keeps acting like Kepa's the biggest problem. And of course, he was an issue. But in recent times, the leaky defense, the goals going in, even the goalkeeping errors and poor sort of the positional elements from goalkeepers is creeping back into things. And Lampard has got to change it quick, because the one thing Lampard, in my opinion, doesn't have at Chelsea that Arteta and Man United have is a board that are willing to give a little bit more time. Because we know Roman is ruthless. Because right now your season is salvageable. You can still win the league from 26 points. You're only 7 off the top. And if the board look at it and go, well, Tuchel can get us playing better football, he can develop youngsters, he's available. If they believe he can push them on further from this point, I wouldn't be surprised if we wake up tomorrow morning, 7:30 in the morning, you get an announcement of they've parted ways with Lampard. It'll be done ceremoniously. It'll be done in a nice way. You remember, this is Chelsea Football Club, who didn't give Ashley Cole a testimonial, who allowed Lampard to leave unceremoniously, as an example. The way you've treated legends in the past, the way young Chelsea fans don't really, I don't know if they look at Di Matteo in the same way as they may do a Lampard or a Terry, but Di Matteo, well, like when Chelsea were proper Chelsea before the Roman money, is a legend. The way you treated him. So the way you've treated legends in the past, I'm not buying, and I've been saying it the whole time and getting abused for it. I'm not buying into this notion that Lampard's job is safe because he's one of your top 3 greatest players of all time. I don't know if Roman cares enough. I think winning is more important to Roman than a player's legendary status. So
I think if Lampard is genuinely as a Chelsea man, as all these people have been banging on about, he would just leave on his own.
That's what I'm saying. He's just walking
because
away.
literally he's going like he's getting worse and worse and worse and worse. We'd think with more time he'd get better. And like, not one of our
never gonna happen though. You know,
I've been hearing from the Chelsea lot who really want him in. I've been hearing now like, oh, he's a Chelsea person. He's got Chelsea at heart. This, that, and the other. He will do what's best for us. If they genuinely believe that, they would ask for him to go. Like,
he will never do that because
the thing is, David, when you look at things, sorry, Gal, when you look at things in context, with what's his name, with Lampard, he's only 7 points off the top. My man's not going nowhere. We need Roman to do this. My man's not going nowhere. He's gonna fight this through. He's gonna say these are my players. Like, we need Roman to do the job for us. There's no way my man's gonna wake up and say, I need to leave the club for the best of the club. He's only 7 points off.
Can I just quickly say that if Chelsea want to sort out all of their problems, then I think you should sign David Luiz and Willian.
Listen, thank you very much for coming on, David, as well. We're going to freshen up the panel a little bit and get some of the backstage people on. Thank you both for your opinions. Really appreciate it. Now, we're going to get Kesh onto the show and we're going to get Alfie on as well. I'm going to go to Kesh first of all, another gooner in the house who took a lot of stick off the Chelsea panel here at the Football Terrace. Your thoughts on the performance tonight from Chelsea, but also Man City, because they seem to be a little bit of a dark horse at the moment.
The Chelsea performance is just a shambles. Like, I see Anita saying Chilwell's got the ball, he's looking, you see you don't want to cross it. I don't believe football works that way. If you see no one in the box, you should not be crossing. You can't tell me that that's the manager's instruction. You're a professional footballer. Why would you waste position?
When you... All right, cool. Go through.
How many times in the game are you going to cross to a box filled of Man City players and no one there to actually challenge for the header? You can't tell me that Frank is saying do that all the time.
But that's how we've been. Wait, Kesh, yeah. When you look at the way Chelsea's been playing for the last couple of games, has it not just been crossing into the line?
It has been that. But
so you telling me that that's not Lampard's instructions? I don't understand how you can say that with confidence.
You still have to use your own initiative as a player. I'm sick of this.
I'm sick of this error of people. But when you use your own initiative, you got to think about it this way. When you're playing ball and you've been given certain instructions and other players are following them instructions, and as a fullback, you want to use your initiative to do what? You're not a creative midfielder to use your...
Do what Tierney did.
No one's saying you can do anything, but you can recycle the position rather than losing it. You don't have to always cross it. You use your initiative. I'm sick of people spoon feeding these players. And you say Havertz is Chelsea's best creative player. He's not.
Best person creatively, he is.
He's not. If you watch this person, you'll see the way he played. He's not better than Ziyech as a creative player. Ziyech is, listen, at the end of the day, Lampard has got two creative attacking mid, He's got to change his system to a 4-2-3-1. You play either Havertz in behind the striker or Ziyech. You put Odoi on the wing and you put Pulisic on the other side.
Is that what I've been saying? Is that not what from the start?
Everything you're saying, but I'm just picking out things that you've said. And then at the same time, people keep talking about Werner being this great player. I've seen Chelsea been doing this for the last 3 seasons since you've lost the likes of Ballack and all these guys. You're in a major rebuild right now. And you don't seem to sign so many players that as soon as they come in, you start to say they're world class. No, they're not world class. Pulisic had a good start to the season where he padded a few goals. He's still a talent, but he's not world class. I'm not saying you personally.
Let's bring them back in because these are gems, but these aren't mine.
I'm not saying you personally.
You know these men are gonna come for me.
I'm not saying you personally. I'm saying the general of the Chelsea fan base in general have been claiming that a lot of these players are world class, and they're not. They're far from it. They're just talent that got an high ceiling that they're still trying to reach, and they haven't reached it as of yet. Mendy as well. Like a lot of people, I agree with Prem when you don't sign Mendy. I said you don't sign someone, and he started so well that you don't think he's the second coming to a Courtois or something. He's not. If another manager comes in, I guarantee you'll be linked with Oblak again.
100.
Can I interject here, people? Sorry, I know Terry. I know Terry likes to give me a good intro, bro. Yeah, I apologize, bro. Yeah. Where's the gas for City? Why isn't no one talking about how good Manchester City were? Listen, I know they ain't got no fans. I know it's empty. Yeah, I understand City ain't got no fans. Yeah, I get it. But do you really think you're better than Manchester City? Did you really expect to go into this game and get something? Is that what you did? Did you really expect? I honestly really want to understand.
No, Alfie, you've been in the back this whole time. Wait, Alfie, you've been in the back this whole time, yeah? I'm the only Chelsea fan left on this panel, yeah? Don't ask me them questions because you already know I said from the jump, if we're gonna play City like that, we need world-class players in our team. Did I not say that?
You're 250 million. What? 250 million, and you ain't got no world class players.
No, we ain't. We've got Kante. Kante's our only world class player, and we've been saying this though. We've been saying this. We bought babies. I can't sit here and say Havertz is world class or Werner is world class. Like I'm not stupid. I ain't gonna say that.
Yeah, no. Listen. Look. The game today. I'll tell you from the first second that I saw the game. Yeah. As soon as I saw the game. Yeah. I thought.
What even is that?
Look at it's just weird.
It's like the goal's gonna come from here. This is where the goal's gonna come from. That's what he said. Anyway, look, you know one thing you can't downplay, and this was clear if you watched the whole game, which obviously you did, This was clear that they had more rest than you. Yeah, they had more rest than you. They were sharp. They were quick. Do you know where I think Lampard went wrong today? in his game management. Lampard set up against Manchester United to make sure that they don't concede. He did not set up against City like that, and he got wiped today. He did not set up against City like that, and he got wiped.
Everything you've said, I've literally said. You're reiterating.
No. I need to understand. Look, I don't know why you're taking this personally. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about all the Chelsea fans that came on here. Yeah. I know. And Chelsea fans just in general. Did you really think that you're better than City? Like City, honestly, they're coming out of nowhere.
There's a reason though. A lot of people. I said this from the start of the season. I said, do not sleep on Manchester City. Don't watch the way they started. Listen, you have to
I said they're gonna win the league.
You have to look at the quality of their overall squad. A lot of teams didn't have a pre-season, so it's going to take a while for everyone to get in the frame of things and start producing what we know that they can produce. And what you're seeing now, and don't forget, like I think Pep has slightly changed the way City play. They're not playing this quick football as they used to be. They're actually taking their time to protect their defense a lot more. That's why they're not conceding so many goals.
Who? City.
I think they're still playing their quick football, and that's why.
But here's this.
It's not as quick as last season, but they're still playing their quick football, and that's why every time we tried to defend on our recovery was absolutely terrible because they were playing that quick football that we couldn't handle. They're still playing that quick football, but again, they are protecting their defense a lot more, and that's why we struggled to score today. But again, it's not that hard to score against City if you've got players that are quick enough that you can feed the ball to quick enough. Look at the Callum goal. They got Mason Mount was quick enough. Mason Mount passed the ball quick enough. Callum got there quick enough. If you're quick enough, you can score against the City side. But that's all on Lampard.
Terry, there's one I've got to say though. I see a lot of people was attacking Cam when he was talking about Kante being past his best, and I agreed with that. What you're seeing now is Kante's purple patch is running out. Some of the decisions that he's made today was actually stop. Oh, listen, I don't even understand.
You know what's interesting about Kante? Like we know how good a sort of midfielder he has been, right? You know that you could probably count maybe on two sets of hands the players that have been at a world-class level in the Premier League but maintain that for more than 5 or 6 years. All of our clubs have had star players that have been like potent for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, sometimes 5. But there's only a handful that do it for a decade, say. You've got Giggs and Scholes. You've got Thierry Henry, like when he was here. You had Lampard and John Terry at your football club as an example. Most don't do that. You know, maybe Kante's had his day now. Like most don't stay at their peak for very long. Even when you think of some of the greatest players of all time, the Ronaldinhos, there's that period, the Kakas, there's a period where they are just out of this world. And then either side of it, they're very good players as well. Like it's, maybe Kante's just past his best because every time I watch him play now, he doesn't look that same potent force in the middle.
Terry, Kante's never been the same since Martinelli left him on his back last season.
Yeah. Can I say something about Chelsea?
Yeah.
I want to know, like, we told you guys at the beginning of the season you were not going to win because of Frank Lampard. And now that you guys want him out, it's almost like you guys all agree with us because we all told you guys at the beginning of the season, you guys were not going to win the league. And if you guys did do well, it was going to be because of the detriment. It wouldn't be because of Lampard. It would be because of the players and the amount of money you spent. So now that you guys are doing poorly, everything's going on Lampard. And I get it. But at the same time, your players that you guys paid 200 million for are performing worse than Pepe was performing last season. So let's call a spade a spade. These guys right now have not been good, and they're close to being flops, in my opinion.
I still think Chelsea will recover, and they will finish in a respectable position. But what I will say is, Werner is not the guy. He's not the striker to lead a front line on his own. He's not. And if you look at his link-up play, it's actually a shambles. And half the time he's dribbling, he trips over the ball like nearly as much as Pepe.
Can I just say, at the beginning of the season, all Chelsea fans were a bit hyped off of Werner, and I get that. I was definitely at the forefront of that. I thought he was going to come in and do a little trickery, but then it's like, in recent matches, I've gone back and I've watched more videos of Werner. I've watched full matches with Werner as well. And I'm thinking, did Lampard make the right choice in buying this guy? Because the way this guy plays, if we look at Leipzig's main striker, he plays off Poulsen. And I'm just thinking, did we buy the right person for this squad? Did Lampard really think about this choice? Because no one can tell me Werner is not a good finisher. He is a good finisher, but this system that we are playing is not for him.
Well, you're right in what you're saying there. When you go back and look, as you say, he started centrally with Paulson, but would drift left, predominantly left, drift left and right in a game. You're not using that system. Now it's down to your football club to do the due diligence to say, can he play as a lone striker? So far, he struggled as a lone striker, and he struggled when you put him out on the wing. So at the moment, it looks awful.
Terry,
he has addressed this in one sec. He's also addressed this himself. Though, saying he said it. He goes, "I am really struggling with the speed and physicality of the Premier League, and it might just take him a year to find himself." The problem you've got, if you overplay him and you break his confidence, he may never be able to cope with it here. Lampard's got to be able to get this management of him right.
Terry, let's be honest about it. From the outside looking in, Frank Lampard won the lottery and he played real life FIFA. That's all he did. He literally went, right, who's doing well in Europe at the moment? You know what? Kai Havertz, Timo Werner. Yeah, let's get them all. We're going to have the Harlow Globetrotters. Yeah, wonderful. Doesn't work like that. £250 million, and they're actually worse than they were last season when they gave more youngsters an opportunity. I don't know why Callum Hudson-Odoi doesn't get more opportunities than he's been getting.
Don't make no sense.
I'm an Arsenal fan, and even I can see when we played Chelsea a couple of weeks ago, when he came on in the second half, he was the one player when I looked at and I went, yeah, you know what? Keep an eye on him because he looks dangerous, you know. And we talk about this whole crossing thing. I've heard you speaking about it. Again, from what I see, the Arsenal game, for example, all I saw was Kante in the box and Chelsea trying to cross the ball to him. And I was like, what are you doing? And I was like, you know what? I hope Frank Lampard don't use his brain for a second and bring Olivier Giroud on. No, he didn't use his brain and he didn't bring Olivier Giroud on. And I was like, thank you, cheers for that. Game over. I just see what I see from him. I don't see anything that's going to take Chelsea to where they want to go, in my opinion. I just genuinely don't see it. That's not me taking the piss now or anything. I just don't think Frank Lampard's a good manager. I think he's been tactically inept through many games this season. I think other managers have got the better of him, and it's been very easy to get the better of him. Let's be honest about it. You play in Arsenal at one of the worst periods in the history of Arsenal, and yet we turned up and still tactically outdone Lampard. And in the first 45 minutes, who looked like the team that were fighting relegation at that time?
There's no doubt about that. We have a super chat here that says, is it time to start the Smith Rowe versus Havertz conversation? Look, Smith Rowe has done more in the last few games than Kai Havertz has done all season. There is no doubt about that. We won't start the conversation just yet because I don't think Smith Rowe needs the pressure, but he has looked very, very good indeed. Chelsea need a manager with experience saving a sinking ship of overpaid flops. Roman should hire that Everton legend Arteta joke. Hashtag London is Lily White. That's from a Tottenham fan. Of course, happy after.
Tottenham fans are irritating, bro.
About
so
London
irritating.
is Lily White. Are you
Come
having
on,
a
man.
bubble?
Come on, man.
Please, seriously.
Them
no.
type of arguments
What's
only
their-
happen
What can you
Chelsea
hold on,
Arsenal.
DT? What can you really say about that? They're on top of you. They're playing that
Yeah,
disgusting.
listen, damn.
What can you really say about that? You
Listen,
can't say
listen.
anything about that.
I can
They're
say,
there.
listen.
No. Big man
Listen,
thing, yeah.
You could go out at the
Arsenal.
weekend. You could go out at the weekend and have a fit woman on top of you. Doesn't mean that she's the one, does it? It ain't gonna happen.
You know what's
Honestly.
nice, yeah?
Are you saying Jose Mourinho is a fit woman, bro? Is that what you just said? You just said
Yeah,
basically.
right.
Yeah.
Listen,
I don't know what you're
Jose's
saying.
sexy, man.
I don't know what you're saying then, innit? I
Jose
really don't.
Mourinho's finished. I'm not worried about
Jose's
Spurs in
sexy
any
as
way,
hell.
shape, or form.
Hey, Terry.
Spurs can sit there, and they can talk about what's their motto: to dare is to do. What have you ever done? Nothing. You
Get
might
Jose
be better.
Mourinho and play some shit football.
Listen,
That's what they're
at the end of
doing.
the day,
That's daring.
There's
That's
two
daring
differences.
in
There's two
the UK.
differences.
Yeah, go on.
There's two differences, yeah,
Yeah.
between being better or bigger. At the moment, statistically, Spurs are better than us because they're above us in the league and they finished above us the last couple of seasons. But are they bigger than us? No. So that's why I say when Tottenham fans pipe up and start going, London's Lily White, blah. Tottenham, in terms of their achievements, are on the same level as West Ham. Don't even get it twisted. Yeah, the two biggest clubs in London are Arsenal and Chelsea. So none of this Lily White bullshit and all that rubbish.
But you know, there's an argument, there's a debate because they're on the upward trajectory, and technically, all right, yeah, you want some silverware, I got it. But they're on the upward trajectory. What if they win? What if they win 2 cups this season?
But
They
hold
match
on,
you.
how can you say that? How can you say
Alfie.
they're on an upward trajectory
Alfie.
if this
They
is their
are.
golden
They are.
period? But hold on, it's their golden period.
Yeah.
And it's our worst period in around about 60, 70 years. They're
Yeah.
6 points ahead of us. 6.
Listen,
Now
Alfie,
When
they're
we-
6 points
when
now.
we-
Well,
listen,
look at
there's
the
the-
close
there's
of
the
season.
difference.
They're 6
There's
points
the
now.
difference.
Wait.
No,
Hold on.
there's the difference. There's the difference. When we had our golden period and they had their bad period, there was 30 odd plus points between us, unbeaten seasons, league titles, and everything. When Chelsea were at the top of their game, there was 25, 30 points between other London sides. There was no questioning. If this is Tottenham's golden period, how the hell are you not walking away with the Premier League in what is a completely random season where anybody could be walking away with it? Let's be real.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. I get it. Look, I'm not sat here saying Tottenham is bigger than you. I sat here in this stream about 3 weeks ago, yeah, and I said 2 of the biggest clubs in the Premier League era, yeah, who went toe to toe consistently for more seasons, yeah, is Man United and Arsenal. I don't care if Chelsea's got more Premier League titles. I said Man United and Arsenal. That's the original red cards per game. That's the original. You get fire, proper football, yeah, proper football for season on end. If 1 year Arsenal didn't win it, Man United won it. If 1 year Man United didn't win it, Arsenal won it, yeah. That's how it went. I'm not sat here saying Tottenham are bigger. What I'm saying is, look, this is their golden period, but they might just end up this season with 1 or 2 trophies just because of that guy and his shit, dead football, the murderer of football. You know what I mean? They might.
At the
They
end of
might.
the day, London still won't be white.
Alfie, I would
Right,
not
but
care.
fine.
I
Still
would
won't be
not
white.
care if they go and win a cup, because we have to look at, if they don't win a Premier League in the era where the period where they've got Kane and Song, it's over for them.
Yeah, no, I do agree with that. The super chats I've got to do here. First one says from Billy says Chelsea are out here fixing our rivals. Hashtag Bob the Builder FC. That is kind of true, you know. They've literally kickstarted 2 seasons. Arsenal on a 3-game winning streak. DP's phone is safe for now. That's true. Did the phone actually break the other day, bruv, when you threw that? Because that made me die. I nearly hit myself. It didn't break.
My phone was absolutely fine. That's why you invest in good screen protectors. Do you know what I mean? Come on now. At the end of the day, when you support a club like I do, you need to invest in them kind of things. So listen, the funniest thing is the amount of people that sit there and say to me like, oh, look at him. He's got such a bad temper. He's thrown his phone, or he's this, that, the other. Let's be real. How many people behind closed doors sit there and get angry over their team playing football, and when something don't go right? How many people have dashed something in their front room? Whether it be a cushion, whether it be your hat, whether it might be, the first thing that's in your hand, and something happens, you can see the last minute goal, and you're like, oh, you useless. But listen, we all do it, man. That's part of
I've seen people break their TVs.
I broke my phone bare times in uni, man.
You know what's interesting about it? I've always said this about like AFTV as an example, is when it comes to Troops and Claude, DT, these guys that, like, for me, Lee Judge and the like, that sent it to the stratosphere, they were just willing to do on camera what I think 95% of people do privately. Does that make sense? It's why good fan channels work, because it reminds people of them and their mates talking. The problem is most people don't feel comfortable actually doing it on camera to kind of bring it to life, if that makes sense. And that's why you get a lot of angry people, because they're like, oh, my opinions are just the same as DT's, but I only get 1 retweet and he gets like 4,000 every time. Yeah, but it's just because
it's the same. Terry, you see, after a game, right, when we lose, if you go into the pub, no matter who you support, if you go into the local pub outside Chelsea's ground, Arsenal's, wherever it is, some of the things you hear, you know, fans talking to each other about in their groups is far worse than what you will hear on fan cams. Far worse. Some of the stuff you hear is like, wow. Like, if you could have a secret camera and just kind of pinpoint certain things that get said in pubs once they've had a few beers as well, or whatever it might be. And listen, it's at the end of the day, we put our face in front of the camera. We give our thoughts and our opinion. Some people agree. Some people disagree. Some people carry on as though they're angels. I never get upset when my team lose. I'll just carry on and get on with my life. And well, cool, that's you. That's you. That's not me. When my team loses, I'm angry. I'm fuming about it. And if something happens in a moment and I've got something in my hand, I'll dash it. It could be a chair. It could be a phone. Don't know. One day I might pick Robbie up and throw him.
Can I listen? Can I ask a question to everyone on the on the panel?
Yeah,
are Man City back? Are they on form?
They never went away.
And I'll tell you my opinion after. But no, they've had a bumpy start. Let's be honest, they've had a bit of a bumpy start. It doesn't look like there's some people, and I genuinely believe them. There's some people that said, "No, Pep's past it. Whatever's happened and whatever, blah blah blah." But he's a bit past it.
I didn't look into that because of the way the season is. I feel it's an indifferent season. So whatever form or blips teams are having, I can't really look too deep into it because I feel that when it comes towards, say, January, February, you'll see a lot more consistent from other teams that you expect to have a consistency from.
Yeah, do you know what? My view on it is this: I've never, when it comes to serious conversation, I've never called Pep Guardiola a fraud or fraudiola and all that nonsense. You do it for a bit of banter, but in real terms, no. What I have said is that there's been a dip and a decline. To say they're gone and finished is a big statement. The fact is, over a 12-month period in the Premier League, Man United won more games than them, and Pep Guardiola lost more than him. For me, to go from where they were and to be Pep Guardiola, to have Ole Gunnar Solskjaer outperforming you, demonstrated something was wrong. I'm still not convinced they're going to be good enough and consistent enough this year to win the league over Liverpool, that I still make favourites. But people always want to go too far. I think maybe he's taken City as far as he can go. My only question mark is there's no pedigree for Pep to build a great team, for it to decline, and for him to rebuild it at the same club. He might do it, and he could very well do it. But there's no precedent to say that there's no example to draw from to say it's been done before. Only a handful of Premier League managers have actually done it. One of them's Fergie. Wenger did it. Obviously, the 98 team and then the 04 team. He built two teams. Nobody else has ever done it. Joe said it in two different spells. So there's literally 2.5 managers that have actually been able to rebuild teams in the Premier League. Guardiola's never done it in his career. So I think it's fair to question him. But people always go too far with it. Start calling him a fraud. Start calling this, calling that. Got a funny comment here that says, Terry, fun fact, Finding Nemo, the movie, cost about the same to make as Timo Werner did, around 40-odd million pounds. I didn't know that was true, but it is kind of funny with Finding Timo. It made me laugh a little bit. We've got a few more super chats to do here. Then we're going to refresh the panel again. Chelsea equal Banter FC for now. Don't get it twisted, fellow Arsenal fans. They still have a better squad than us, and we'll finish.
They take the mantle today.
From Brandon. And then one other super chat here says, DT, you must be a history teacher. You keep living in the past. Arsenal is the new Stoke City of London. Accept it and move on. You will cry again.
DT's face is
Terry, do you want me to do I even need? Was that a super chat?
Yeah, he paid for that.
Wow. You actually paid to talk shit. Well done. Absolutely commendable for you. What's his name? What is he? Spurs lad. Do you know what? I bet you haven't even seen your team win the title in colour. That's how long ago it was. You actually have to go to VHS to go and have a look. Please don't talk to me about history, about clubs, about size, about anything. It's not going to happen. I'll banter Chelsea fans, Liverpool fans, United fans, even Man City fans, because they've got titles to talk about. They've got big trophies. Spurs ain't got nothing. Your biggest club legends are Vinny Samways and players like that. Shut up and get out of here, man.
Final super chat. Sports Guru says title race between Liverpool and City. Still think Liverpool will take it as they have just lost one game, getting players back from injury. Look, whatever happens, it's going to be an amazing season. There is no doubt about that whatsoever. It's going to be exhilarating. City.
I'm offended by that last one. I'm offended.
Inexplicably, Ollie's joint top of the league or second, according to some. It's going to be amazing. Tomorrow night we'll be covering Southampton versus Liverpool. It's going to be a mad game.
What is this joint top stuff?
You never quite know this season. You never know.
Terry, can I ask you genuinely? What is this joint top stuff?
No, let me answer that. Can I answer it? Yeah.
I'm not the host.
No,
Yeah, go on.
yeah, DT, on a real, no muggage. I swear to you, no muggage intended whatsoever. Yeah. How far did you get in maths in GCSEs, bro?
Oh, I didn't finish school, man.
All right, cool. Me neither, bruv. Yeah, I swear to you, me neither, bruv. Yeah, but the one thing I did learn is tabular maths. Yeah. All right. You know, have you ever seen a table? Yeah, where when they're joint, let's say 1, 2, and 3 are joint and equal. Yeah. It doesn't say 1, 2, and 3. It says 1, and then it finishes the other 2 and 3 in quotation marks.
Okay.
To clarify, they are equal. All right, forget.
So,
we are joint top of the league. So if you can't turn around and say Liverpool are joint second, because you're not going to say that, because there is only one position to be talked about. It's the first. Yeah, we are apart. The only thing that separates us is goal difference based on the asterisks. How do you differentiate them at the end of the season when no more games are to be played?
Well, that's what it's there for, though.
No. The asterisk is there to differentiate them. To how do you differentiate when everything's said and done? But what's the main point here? The main point here is points. Yeah.
I would say my main point is that if 38 games have been played, like the season that Manchester City and Manchester United finished level on points, did Manchester United fans go around going, "Hey, we finished joint top"?
No, we said we lost it. No. We said we lost it. No, of course
because what I would like
to be smart there.
Terry. I just want to say one thing, because if that's the case and Man United fans want to say they're joint top, then if you look at the table in terms of the teams that are level on points and whatnot, Arsenal are currently joint 4th now.
No, you're not.
Because split it down. Who's 3rd, 4th, and 5th in the league? How many points are they on?
29?
29.
So those three teams are joint 2nd. Now go for the next bracket. Now go for the next bracket. How many points are those teams on? Let's have a look, Terry.
No. But
wait. Hold on.
It's true. It's true.
Hold on a minute. Let me land with this. Hold on. Let me have a look. So Liverpool and Manchester United are joint 1st. Leicester, Tottenham, and Manchester City are joint 2nd. Then you've got Everton, Villa.
That's not how it works, though.
No,
it doesn't work like that. Guys, 1 second. Guys, let me just answer. The kind of table that Alfie was talking about doesn't work like that. If you're joint top, there is no second place. If you're joint, there's 3 teams top. There's no 3rd place. It goes straight from 1st to 4th.
It goes straight to 3rd. Yeah. Sorry, look, I didn't try to. Yeah.
Alfie, let me answer, please. My view is this. You're absolutely right. If it's the final day of the season, you're not joint top anymore. Until that point, we are. But the reason that right now we are, because the season isn't over. We're joint on points as an example. But I want to point something out, DT. Maybe this is fake. Maybe you didn't actually tweet this, but you tweeted this, bruv, when you were top of the league. Or is that made up?
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm so glad you brought that up. Would you care to bring up the rest of that tweet, Terry?
I can't. It's a screenshot.
Oh, there's a surprise, because I'll tell you what you could do. You can go and have a look at the rest of the tweet, which clearly shows me saying that tweet was actually directed at Manchester United fans as a piss take. That was in 2016. So I was taking the piss out of Man United fans in 2016. That's the reason why. If you go and look at all of the tweets underneath it, because I put that one first, then there was a 2nd and a 3rd that went to it. And I clearly state that I'm being sarcastic and that I think it's ludicrous.
Listen, bruv, and let me just say this, right? For me, I stand by what I've said. During the season, it's joint top. Final day of the season is when it ends and it finishes and you all get given a place. Right now, we're joint top. We're joint top of the league. I'm cool with it. I'm happy with it. It's a long, long way to go.
Okay, can I ask you one other question? Can I ask you one other question as a Man United fan then?
Yeah.
In the 2017-18 season under Jose Mourinho, just before he got sacked, at the same point in the season, 17 games played, Manchester United had 2 more points than they currently do now. They had more goals scored and less goals conceded. If that was not good enough for you then under Jose Mourinho, why is it good enough for some Manchester United fans now?
Please, nobody else jump in. Let me just answer. So there's 2 things to that. Context is always needed. So if we go back to me personally during that season, go back and look at my content, I said City being so good has skewed how people have assessed Jose Mourinho's season. Because our points total by the end of that campaign, I think in 3 other years of Premier League history would have been good enough to have won the league. We had a really good season. City were just exceptionally good and we couldn't keep up with them. But fans didn't want to look at it. They just looked, we were second, they were first, and there's a big gap. They didn't want to put anything into context. The difference is now is you are where you are. Now, we fell massively from grace from that point. So from where Ollie took over from to where we are now is growth. So what I'm celebrating is the factual growth from where we were when Ollie took over, the hardship he's been through, and where we are right now. Equally, I want to be on more points than this. I want to score more goals. I want to concede less. But I'm telling you this now, bro. If we won, if this was a mad league and we've won it and we finished it on 60 points, which is the lowest total ever, I would still celebrate winning the league. Would I then claim that am I claiming now we're better than Jose Mourinho's 2016-17 team, I think it was, or 17-18 team? No, I'm just happy with the fact that we're joint top of the league and that we've improved and that our trajectory is moving upwards. It's not about comparing. It's just about being happy with where we are at this moment. Does it mean I'm settling? Well, I think what you're looking at is this, and what maybe you're assuming, and maybe some Man United fans make it sound this way. I'm not settling for where we are now as right, we're back. I'm happy to stay at this point, at this level, at this win ratio forever. I still want to improve further. So I still want more growth, but I'm happy and to celebrate where we are, because I said all along, whether it was Ollie in charge, I said this under every manager, is a progression and there's a step change that's needed. You're never going to go from being where we were, which was absolute dog poo, to getting back to the peak Fergie times in 2-3 seasons. It takes time to get there. So that's why we're happy with where we are, but we don't stop now and say, right, that's it. No more progression needed.
But how is there actual progression if you've got less points, less goals, more conceded? And the only reason that you're in a title race is because everyone else is poor. If Liverpool or Manchester City had the season that you were talking about in 17-18, like they should be having, or if Liverpool never received their injuries they've received, then everybody would be looking at Manchester United now and Man United fans in general going, well, that's not good enough. We're over 10 points behind. We're a million miles away. We're not challenging.
There's two questions in that. So the first one is this. Is it, from where we are now, is it progression from a point of view and goals conceded from that season of Jose's? Yes and no. Because what you're doing in these two statements is you're cutting out the middle ground. So let's say Jose had us there and we're here right now. So if you look at it as a linear line, it's backwards. But what you're taking out is the fact that we dipped right down here and we're now on the way back up. You can't take out the story in the middle. You can't just go to the end of the movie and take them. If you take the middle of a movie out, you have no idea how you got there, right? And at the end of the day, that's where we are right now. We're on an upwards trajectory. So that's first and foremost. The point is, if we win the league and everybody else is bad, that's just a thing rivals are going to say to play it down and to try and take it away from us. Listen, do you think City fans care? I'll tell you a United example. When we won the FA Cup in 2016, I didn't care that we didn't play a top 4 team on the whole. The hardest team we played was Everton in the semi-final. I didn't care. I celebrated it. When you I want to say you beat Cardiff in an FA Cup final. Did you celebrate it the same as when you beat Man United in a cup final?
Obviously,
even though it's easier.
We didn't beat Cardiff.
Who did you play in a cup final? A small team.
It was Chelsea in Cardiff, I think.
Yeah, we played Chelsea in a cup final.
No, not Chelsea in Cardiff. No. We played Hull. You had Hull in the final. Sorry.
Listen, a Hull City gave us a bit harder match than Chelsea.
No, listen, but that's not my point though. When you play an easier team, and we've all done this in cup runs, where we've all had these runs in the cup where the other big teams have kind of knocked each other out, and we kind of get ourselves to a semi. We're like, Jesus Christ, we could really do this. So for me, I don't look at football in that way. I want to win the league title this year. If we win it with record low points, I don't care that individual season. But in terms of the journey, I want us to progress the following season, win more games, win more points. And I just think that otherwise, you're never going to be, by your logic, DT, it means unless you beat Man City's 100-point record, nobody can ever be happy with winning a Premier League title because we've never been as good as a previous great champion. Or if you don't win a treble, if you don't have a treble winning season, you can't really celebrate because you haven't equaled what the greatest season in British football history has been. I think you can get too granular on those things. So for me right now, Man United fans have got absolutely every right to be happy with the progression. But any Man United fan that settles for where we are now, I think that's a small-minded mentality. It's as simple as that. And in terms of being joint top, I'm just going to keep saying it because it seems to really rattle people. So I don't really care. Alfie's explanation, his explanation. For me, we're joint top until the final day of the season. And if we stay joint on points, but back worse goal difference, then we drop into second.
And we're joint fourth. We're joint
you can be fourth. I don't care, bruv.
No. Look, each country does their own differentiator if you are joint top.
Yeah.
La Liga does. Who knows what the La Liga separator is? Who knows? Do you know? I'll tell you what it is. Head-to-heads. So the people who are there saying, "Oh yeah, you're not." No one said joint first. We are joint top until the differentiator kicks in. We are joint top. So if that's so if we beat Liverpool, for example, yeah, and we use the La Liga rules, right? Goals scored doesn't matter. Goal difference doesn't matter. What matters is how do you differentiate 1 and 2 now? Who won the head-to-heads? It doesn't matter if Liverpool have a higher goal difference. That's if you use the La Liga rationale.
It's cool.
Alfie,
Guys, we're not in La Liga. And listen, I get that. What I'm saying is this, right? I love the comment. I'm reading the comments here because this is why I love the football Terry. It's rival chat. And I'm seeing from all the Man United fans, Terry killed it. I'm seeing from all the rivals, DT just smashed him. And this is what I love about the way we do things. We're no echo chambers. We're not one set of fans like muddling ourselves away, wanking each other off and having a good time. It's what it's about challenge of the football Terry. No echo chambers. But like I've said, I don't care if we win the league this season by goal difference on the lowest points total in the history of title wins. I will celebrate like it's 1999 again, especially if we win our first title since 2013. I don't give a damn. I already know this, by the way. If Man United won it even with 80, 90 points, I already know the excuses are going to be, well, Liverpool had injuries. It's a poor season. There was no fans. The excuses have already been laid out as to why we're going to win it anyway. And do you know what? The more excuses that you give Man United for winning it, the more tears you cry, the sweeter it's going to taste for any team that wins it, because the same excuses will be applied to all of them. So for me,
the only thing I would say before I go, right, and it's one very quick point, is that the most informed team in the Premier League right now is Arsenal. So we're going to win the league. See you later. Bye-bye.
Take care, mate. All the best.
Listen, Man City still have 2 games in hand, and they could still easily win it. A lot of people could win it, but to me, the team that's been playing the best football has been Liverpool. Man United have been getting results, not playing good football. Man City have not been playing good football. So I completely get why everyone's saying everyone's still in it. Right now, Manchester United can be at the top of the table. Anyone can be at the top of the table. It's not decided till the last day, so we can't really get too overexcited about anything. If I was in your position, I would be getting excited too. But at the same time, we have to be level-headed.
What I genuinely love because when you read the comment section, it's like, see, no, Terry, you've been done. It's like, no, really. What DT's doing is smart. It's what, by the way, it's what every rival fan should do. Is you throw stuff out early.
Kevin De Bruyne, fam. Let me talk. Just let me talk.
You throw out this stuff and dampen what anyone else has done. Neats, over to you.
Why are we talking about this? This is Chelsea Man City match. Can we go back to the match?
I have no idea how this came up, really.
You took an L, so we had to find something more interesting.
I wanted to chime in, but I ain't in no towel raise. Let me talk. Chelsea fans, let me talk. Damn.
No, it is what it is. It's actually a super chat here I've got to go to that says, Terry, Man United have hardly improved. It's Liverpool and City not up to those standards. The points that Man United have accumulated would be good enough for 6th at the same point when Oli took over. Yeah, but so is that how we're going to assess? But do you know what this is? Yeah. It's like, but Anita, your expression is exactly what I'm thinking. It's like, so is that how we're going to assess every season now? Like, you not going to, do you get where I'm coming from? By that logic, none of us can ever celebrate a trophy again because we've just had 3 years running where teams have won it with high 90s and 100 points. Football's cancelled now. It's so weak, rivals, and you're not going to get under my skin with it. It just isn't.
Just say it again quickly. Really, just say it. We're joint top. We're joint top.
Forget about that.
We're joint top.
No, because the stream's coming to an end now. I'm sorry, I know there's other people backstage, but the stream's coming to an end. We're an hour and 24 minutes in. I've got to set up the Man United show that starts in an hour.
Can I quickly say something about City? Just one point.
Of course you can.
Thank you. I just wanted to say that City, right, they're 4 points off the top now, yeah? And this was actually going back to Alfie talking about, I think I'm not talking about Chelsea because there's no Chelsea fans here. Gemma's let you down. Guys, leave Gemma alone, firstly. He was backstage. It just wasn't any time to bring him on. Like, leave him alone. But going back to what Alfie said about the City comment and like City written off, or what was it that you said? Something about City.
I said, are they back? I'll say back. Yeah.
I wanted to answer the question. So I personally think they did have a rocky start, but I said at the start of the season, I still have my stocks in them to win the league. Low-key, I feel like they're the ones that people are not watching at the moment. They have 2 games in hand and they are 4 points off the top. That is dangerous in itself. And it's like, now that they've started picking up form, they beat Chelsea today 3-1. And it's not even like they played bad football. They played very good football today. And low-key seeing City of old as well, coming back with their passes, their quick thinking and stuff like that. And think about it this way. They took off De Bruyne today and Phil Foden. They bought Mahrez and Aguero. If that doesn't tell you that these lot are back and they are going to threaten for the title or challenge for the title, that's it. If they're not going to challenge for the title, then I don't know what else can convince you. I think they're definitely on the way back to the top, and they're going to be the dark horses. Like, no one's going to see it coming, but with 2 games in hand, they're definitely up there for me.
You know what, Leeds? I hear what you're saying, and like I've said, I don't write Guardiola off like a lot of people do, like David with the Fraudiola sort of stuff that he's come up with before. I think that's always too far. My only sort of thought is never rebuild a team at a club, and I keep the same energy with everything until I see it. I won't believe it. Like, I don't think Ollie can win a league title until he actually picks up a league title. I'm a what is it Deontay Wilder says? See it, believe it. See it, feel it, believe it, or whatever. And until I get all 3 of them things, I'm never really convinced. But I think writing them off completely is absolutely mad. I need to bring a tweet up, by the way. This is Chelsea related. From Fabrizio Romano. It's an interesting one because it says a lot without saying too much. But Frank Lampard via Liam, whoever that dude is, says it's not an easy situation, but we have to keep fighting. And I'm the first one who has to keep fighting, is what Lampard has said. Fabrizio has then come out and said that the Chelsea board always backing Frank in the last weeks. Today, they're really disappointed by the performance against City. That's really interesting, because if they have directly to him or through someone he knows publicly now said they're disappointed with the result, that's the pressure that's now going to crank up on Chelsea. When you tell a journalist something to publicly share that you're disappointed in something, the writing's beginning to be drawn upon the wall, in my opinion. And Lampard doesn't have very long to turn things around, because we just know how ruthless Roman Abramovich is. But it's as simple as that. On the points thing again, if you had a manager that won the league with 85 points one year and then he wins it again the next season with 72 points, by the logic that a lot of the fans are talking, does that mean you sacked the manager because he went backwards?
No. Won the league.
So, listen, I might be Terry's Waffle House, but I can see it's all from Liverpool fans and rival fans, and you're scared of Man United. And you should be. Yeah. Everybody that's tuned in, thank you. Neats, Agal, Alfie, thank you. 9 p.m. tonight, That United show is back. Aaron is hosting. Make sure you're all tuning in. It'd be amazing to see you there. Midnight tonight, Midnight Vibes is back as well. So we literally got shows for you for the rest of the evening, depending what you're all doing tomorrow as well. Paul here of the Super Chat says Anita. Sorry, we had that one. 1975 here says, in all honesty, if Man United is an upwards trajectory, or is it City and Liverpool or on a downwards trajectory? Well, I'll address it because you put the super chat in, and it's very similar to Liverpool fan Kieran's tweet. It's a fact that Man United trajectory is up, because for over a 12-month period, our win percentage is slowly creeping up, and our points per game are slowly creeping up. So we are on, and the other 2 teams, they've been on the decline. So the only reason Man United have been put anywhere near a title race is because of the decline of City and Liverpool has now hit Man United's upwards trajectory. But that's the way football has worked forever. Like, it's cool. Like, you can just take the salt away, because it isn't. You can't hurt me. I'm impervious. Alpha still. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I said we'd play it when we hit 2,000 likes, and we will.